All right, y'all, this next story is really something. So, Trump apparently woke up to the fact that Elon Musk is a fraud very recently. So this is in the Daily Mail. How Trump was racked by a fatal doubt about Elon before his exit. Elon Musk officially stepped down from his role in Donald Trump's administration, bringing an end to one of politics' most unconventional partnerships. Musk, 53, joined the Trump administration 4 months ago to lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, aimed at increasing governmental efficiency and productivity. By the way, let me just point out, that's a lie. That was never the goal. It was never about waste, fraud, or abuse. They didn't find any waste, fraud, or abuse. It was about Elon Musk destroying the regulatory state, incapacitating the regulatory state so that him and other robber baron billionaires can have nobody to check their power. They say backed by nearly $300 million in political spending to help re-elect Trump, Musk was granted sweeping authority to slash federal bureaucracy and reshape government operations. Again, let me pause to say he was granted that illegally. Congress has the power of the purse. He usurped that. They violated the Impoundment Control Act 1 million times over. So he was illegally granted the authority. That's important to point out. And it's also important to point out, yes, he's gone now in the sense he's no longer public facing, but DOGE is still continuing. They're still doing the work. Wired reported on that. They say, however, behind the scenes, their relationship was riddled with mistrust and miscommunication. I love this. Ready? Quote, "Was it all bullshit?" Trump reportedly asked, expressing doubt over Musk's pledge to slash $1 trillion in government spending. I don't know what the funniest part of this is, but to me, it's kind of astonishing that you have somebody who was already president for 4 years who was like, wait a second, is it not even really possible to cut $1 trillion from the budget? Like, of course that's not possible, you fucking jackass. How stupid do you have to be? We have a relatively meager social safety net in this country. We spend $1 gazillion on the Pentagon. But even if you cut the Pentagon, let's say 50%, which probably should be done, you're only saving $400 or $500 billion. The idea you could find $1 trillion in savings is fucking preposterous. If you cut $1 trillion, that's the economy just immediately implodes. Unemployment immediately skyrockets. Like what? You were president for 4 years. You don't know that? And then I was like, was it all bullshit? Was Elon bullshitting? His whole fucking life. I think this honestly speaks worse of Trump, right? Because Trump is a con man in his own respect. But Elon has a long track record, a recent track record too, might I add, of doing vaporware nonstop. I'm telling you, I can't plug this enough. You guys need to do yourself a favor and type in Thunderfoot Elon Musk into the YouTube search button, right? Into the YouTube search bar. And just watch. He did like dozens of videos on Elon. The number of lies and scams and frauds. This guy would raise money, millions of dollars for some project and say, it'll be ready next year. And then it wouldn't be ready and those people wouldn't get their fucking money back, right? It happened with a Tesla sports car that he said would have this amazing range. Meanwhile, they couldn't make the car because the battery would need to be the size of the fucking car to get the range that he wants to get, right? That's just one example. It's called vaporware. He does it all the fucking time. All these promises about the Hyperloop and this thing, we'll be in Mars in a decade, and here we are 18 fucking years later, we're nowhere near Mars. He's just a liar. His last 3 starships fucking exploded. He stole $38 billion from U.S. taxpayers, and he's got dick to show for it. NASA is 1 trillion times better than he'll ever be. Because he's a liar, he's a con man, he's a fraud, and they're underfunding NASA and funding fucking SpaceX because he's a con man and he conned them. The guy he's always been a liar. And here's Trump. All it took was the bare minimum amount of research to realize, hey, what happened when you promised this thing and you didn't deliver it? What happened when you promised that thing and you didn't deliver it? What happened when you were given billions of dollars here and you got nothing to fucking show for it? What happened? Con artist goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing and never looks back. Trump knows Trump does that. Elon did that. You didn't fucking know? The con man got conned by another fucking con man? Oh my God. They say, at first, the relationship appeared strong. Trump regularly praised Musk, calling him 50% genius, 50% boy. And at times, 90% genius, 10% boy, the Wall Street Journal reported. Musk was a frequent presence at the White House as the two held long, informal dinners with the Tesla CEO, sometimes confusing Trump with his eccentric humor, according to White House officials. But as Musk began cutting foreign aid, trimming agencies, and downsizing the federal workforce, tensions with Trump's inner circle escalated. So yeah, that's the thing. Trump picked these people to be, in his cabinet, and these people would like wake up one day and they'd have a massive headache on their hand because they just had 50% of their budget was just slashed. And like thousands of people were just fired from their agency. And Elon didn't talk to them, didn't ask them any permission, just fucking went ahead and did it, screwed these people over. And then when these people called out Musk on it, he would get defensive and start yelling at them. And so he had fights with Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary. He had fights with Marco Rubio and others. He had fights with Scott Bessent. And like, apparently, interpersonally, Musk is truly the most unlikable person on planet Earth. And even these other unlikable people were like, we're done with this guy, bro. Musk bypassed top aides, made unilateral decisions, and kept his plans secret, even from the president's chief of staff, Susie Wiles. In addition, Trump advisors were often blindsided by Doge's actions, learning about layoffs or data requests through news reports, according to the White House aides. Internal clashes only intensified, prompting Trump to ask Wiles to play a more hands-on role in managing Musk. Holy shit. That's a big deal. So Trump was, my guess is it was all the negative press Elon was getting from the horrible decisions he was making. Trump says to Susie Wiles, keep a fucking eye on him. Keep him on a leash. Wow. So publicly, it's we love Elon. We love everything he's doing. He's amazing. Then to Susie Wiles, he's like, you better get him under control. This guy's a fucking mess. Look at what he's doing, bro. Because, yeah, look, as horrible as Trump is, he wants to be able to spin shit. It's kind of hard to spin shit when Elon is like, by the way, we slashed pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels and we're destroying all the long-term studies at the NIH. It's hard to, how do you spin it when he destroys the National Weather Service and we get worse weather forecasts because he wanted to cut NOAA? There's no room to spin. The SpaceX founder also clashed with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy over air traffic controller cuts, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio protested after Musk slashed U.S. aid without consultation. Yeah, and 300,000 people have already died because of that. By the way, I see the right trying to cope and seethe and lie and pretend like that's not true. It's absolutely true. And when all's said and done, millions of people will die because when you cut malaria medication and HIV medication and AIDS medication and all these fucking medications that cost fucking nothing and make U.S. soft power, in other words, we do some actually genuinely good things in the world instead of invading everywhere. When you take away that shit, yes, there are dire consequences, and you can lie and cope and seethe all you want, but oh, that didn't happen. You're fucking wrong. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He also reportedly resisted White House vetting for Doge staff and showed preference for advice from close allies like Stephen Miller, Trump's deputy chief of staff, and Katie Miller, his Doge lieutenant and Stephen's wife. Oh, that gets to how Stephen Miller's wife left the government with Elon, and he had a black eye after that. You connect the dots. In the spring, Musk publicly attacked Republican Senator Todd Young, calling him a deep state puppet, just as Trump was lobbying him to support Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. See, he was getting in the way. He's a bull in a china shop, kind of like Trump, but Trump is the alpha dog, and if you step on his toes, what do you think is going to happen? So they're trying to put the spin on it publicly and act like, oh, no, we're cool, but secretly I think they all hate each other. I think they all hate each other now. You have Elon criticizing Trump's big, beautiful bill recently. And like I said, Doge work is going to continue, but personally, they do not like Elon Musk. But he gave $288 million to Trump to get the White House, and he helped him set up his scam crypto coin. So Trump feels like, I can only break up with him so much, right? This really goes to show you how transactional Trump is, too, because if Elon didn't give him $288 million, he would have publicly and verbally beheaded him by now, easily. Vice President J.D. Vance eventually had to intervene, urging Musk to delete the inflammatory post, which he did, but the damage had been done. White House officials picked up the pieces, a Trump advisor said. The relationship further frayed when Musk involved himself in a Wisconsin Supreme Court race, see? Despite warnings from Trump's team that his candidate, Brad Schimmel, would lose, Musk insisted polling showed otherwise, and after Schimmel's poor town hall and overwhelming loss, Trump distanced himself from the race. So that's the other thing. Trump likes winners. And here he saw, oh my God, this guy's a fucking loser. That's what he saw. Behind the scenes, Musk was also pushing back against Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. Well, Elon was right about that. Calling them dangerous for the global economy. He called business leaders to lobby against them and told advisors Trump was receiving bad advice. True. Though Trump stood firm on tariffs, Musk grew increasingly irritated, especially after learning Musk received a classified Pentagon briefing on China. Yeah, so here you have this guy, Elon Musk. He has business dealings with all these fucking countries, India, China, and elsewhere, and he's sneaking around the president's back doing fucking briefings with these countries. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the most corrupt shit ever. It was the most frustrated they'd seen him, two administration officials said, with Trump questioning whether it was a conflict of interest due to Musk's defense contract. Meanwhile, Musk grew more absent from the White House, initially present 5 to 7 days a week. His visits dropped to 3, then to only occasionally. At a cabinet meeting earlier this spring, Musk shocked officials by venting about how much damage his political role was causing to Tesla. Musk claimed the officials had no idea how much damage was being done to his cars, a witness said. Yeah, you did this to yourself, you dumb bitch. Attorney General Pam Bondi reportedly responded by saying she would prosecute every criminal they could catch. The Wall Street Journal reported by May, Trump learned Musk's departure was imminent, but not the exact timing, which was later revealed in a social media post. Musk told aides that he needed to get some heat off me and my companies amid a sharp decline in Tesla profits and setbacks at SpaceX. Despite the turmoil, Trump requested a final friendly farewell meeting in the Oval Office on Friday, with the president claiming Elon is really not leaving. He's going to be back and forth. Oh, man. It's nice to know, though, that all the things that you and I look at this, right, at everything with Trump and Elon together, and we're going, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. Do people not know how crazy this is? Do people not know how wild all this is? This is insane. What are we witnessing? It's nice to know that behind the scenes, they were genuinely all a mess. Everybody hated everybody. Everybody was stepping on everybody's toes. Everybody was, like, trying to fucking fix the things, and it wasn't, like, as unified as they try to make it look publicly. And it's nice to know that that human nature element is still there, that, like, if this guy's just interpersonally hateable, everybody's going to fucking hate him. And they do. They fucking hate him. But yeah, Doge is going to still continue, so don't get it twisted. He didn't give $288 million for his own health. He gave it to have access. He gave it to have power. And he's still going to have that power. But at the same time, I do think the damages to his businesses, it's so immense. It's so overwhelming. I don't know if there's any getting it back. I mean, Canada is investigating him for fraud. There was a whole thing about him stealing tax credit money in Canada. You have Cybertrucks are just not fucking selling. SpaceX ships are exploding. He's in it, bro. He's in it. And he could try to hide as long as he wants. I don't know if it's going to work. The other thing is, he might try to do a face turn soon. He did a heel turn when he went with Trump. He might try to do a face turn. But I'm not sure if liberals and leftists are going to buy it, because he did so much damage in such a short time that we would know that it was cynical, right? But I am curious. I can't wait to hear. I think they might break up more, right? It might get uglier. And in that case, I want to hear his stories about Trump. We already got some of the Trump stories about him. That's a lot of the stuff in this article, right? I want to hear his stories about Trump. Because even though they hate each other, I assure you, a face turn wouldn't be legitimate, but I would listen to his stories, and I would think there's some legitimacy to his stories. So anyway, there you have it. I love Trump. Was it all bullshit? Yes, of course it was bullshit. Just like your whole fucking presidency is bullshit. Just like you're a con artist. You got conned by another con artist. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.